Well, I'm delighted to welcome Sara Goodwins back to the studio. Of course, was the Manx Bard, still a bard for life.
Indeed.
And you have brought out this beautifully, I say beautiful book because it is fabulously packed with information and things like that. It's got a smell. You've spent a lot of money on this book. Tell us what it's about.
Well, it's a book called My Year as Manx Bard, and it basically tells what I did during my bardic year, because I realised that there was actually nothing in book form about the Manx Bard at all. Oh. There's quite a lot of information, well, like this programme, yeah. But there's nothing in paper form, in published form, about the Manx Bard at all. So I thought, well, I write for a living, and I had to do quite a lot of writing while I was Manx Bard, partly poems and partly also I gave a lot of talks and things like that. And so I found that I had this massive information, and I thought, well, we could turn it into a book, yeah. Perhaps. One thing I have had to do is to try and produce it quite quickly, because I don't want to tread on the toes of the current bard, right. Annie Kissack, who's obviously she's going to bring her own spin.
Because you only just finished, haven't you, about a month ago? So isn't it, what August was it?
End of August.
End of August,
yes.
Yeah. So did you keep notes during the year for this, or did you have any idea when you started you were going to do this? Or
when I started, I didn't think I was going to do this, but I kept all the things that I'd written during the year, and then when it got to about June, I suppose, I thought, well, I've actually got almost enough for a book. So after that, I started working on it, and when we actually got to the inauguration of the new bard, the book was all typeset, and I just needed to drop in the name of the new bard plus a photograph of me at the new bard's inauguration, and then it was all ready to go.
So what do we get in the book? Is it a diary form, or I mean, I know you got a bit of your work. In fact, you're going to get you to read that in the second one on the back. What sort of forms does it take for people interested? I tried to. Basically, I didn't think people would be interested in just a poetry book, because a lot of people think, well, why would I buy poems, whatever. So there are poems in it, because you can't be a bard and not have any poems. Otherwise, people think I haven't been doing anything. But what I started with was a bit of history of bards in the Middle Ages, because that's obviously where the bardic idea came from. Then how the modern bard came about. It was invented by Bridge Carter and sponsored by Culture Van, and a bit about the modern bard, the modern Manx Bard. Then how you apply to be a bard, and what the procedure is that you go through when you're being barded. Oh, so that's in here, so people can find out.
Yeah,
interesting, yeah.
And then sort of what happened when I was inaugurated, which was a complete shock. And after that, a bit about what I did during the year, what the bard does. And every bard does something different, but what I was doing quite a lot of talks to people who may or may not know anything about bards, and the Manx Bard in particular. I visited a huge number of organisations, so I spoke about that. And then there's also a bit about the highs and the lows, the really good bits.
Lows?
Yeah, I almost had the bardic staff confiscated as an offensive weapon.
Now that sounds like a good story.
Yes, indeed, it's in here.
Yeah, right.
There was an event which I was invited to, which was cancelled, and nobody told me.
You turned up, all dressed up, ready to go.
Well, I didn't quite turn up. I did ring up for a few last-minute details, and the gentleman who was organising the event had left, and his staff didn't know it was happening. So basically they said, well, why are you coming? And so I didn't go. There's things like that. So there's highs and lows. Do let's have a little sample of your work, please. Oh, this is
the one on the back of the book, by the way.
This is a jingle.
Oh, it's a jingle. Okay, there's your camera. Off you go.
You'd be wrong to think verse boring, spurning it for wasting time. Verse expands ideas, exploring everywhere by means of rhyme. But the bard's job's more than writing, shaping text to rhyme and scan. It's promoting and highlighting all that makes the Isle of Man. If you want more information on the Manx Bard, take a look. There's no need for speculation, as it's all here in this book. Sorry.
That's brilliant. And before we finish, where can we get this? Where is it available?
Well, there's a launch on Saturday, this coming Saturday, in Lexicon at 10:30, where nobody, apart from important people such as you, nobody's actually seen this before. Wow. So the launch is at 10:30 on Saturday. We can't offer drinks because obviously...
You'll get people in there without that. You
can't offer drinks because spillage on the stock, but everybody will get sweeties, and if you're very good you can have a balloon as well.
Okay, well, thank you for coming in. Before everyone else gets sweeties, balloons, I got a tie. If anyone stayed to the end of this interview, I have to explain, you probably see me in either a red one or a silver one. They're just out of shot. I have my wardrobe, which is the shirt and this. I'm sometimes sitting in my shorts, whatever else. But you bought me a tie to go with this.
Well, last time I spoke to you, you couldn't find one.
I've got ties. I have ties. But anyway, this now becomes part of the collection of 3 that we'll rotate. Thank you so much.
That's a pleasure.
And if people want more information, have you got a website or any other details?
There's a website, www.lochtonbooks.com. It's on there. And it will be available through the island after Saturday, but you can't get it anywhere before Saturday.